Hey, I'm Kp Burke, the host of the podcast American Loser, where we tell weird stories from American history. This one in particular is one of my all-time favorites. I know that you guys know all the famous presidential assassins like Lee Harvey Oswald and John Wilkes Booth, but do you recall the most famous assassin of all? His name is Charles J. Guiteau. He's an absolute madman. My friend the Kahuna once said that this guy was Manson before Manson. So here's his story in 3 minutes or less.
Go!
Charles J. Guiteau was born. He was a little bit squirrely. His father thought he might be possessed by the devil, but Charles J. Guiteau, because he was a narcissist, says, No, not Satan, God. God has chosen me. I'm here to serve a divine power.
Sounds about right.
Which you could do. You could figure it out, too. Take a picture of this guy, see what he's got. He's got a weird, scrappy-looking beard. Very, very peculiar fella. Didn't really fit anywhere he went. Also, he wound up living with a sex cult in upstate New York, and he was the weird one. They kicked him out. The cult started calling him Charles J. Get Out. That weird cult, by the way, Kahuna?
Yeah?
Known as the Oneida cult. Guess what they do now?
What?
Silverware.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, if you have Oneida silverware, you're part of a sex cult. Welcome to the ring, folks. Anyway, Charles J. Guiteau, he is a narcissist. He is a liar. His first book he published was absolutely plagiarized. It was proven. He's abusing his wife. He's sleeping with hookers. He's granted. What is a guy like that supposed to do? Well, politics.
What?
So he winds up popping into the world of politics after studying a little bit of law. They realize this guy's a psychopath. Nobody really likes him. He's got a weird, squirrely look in his eye. So what winds up happening to the guy? He starts campaigning for Horace Greeley and convinces himself that if Horace Greeley becomes the president, he'll become the minister to Chile. That's what he wants to do. He thinks he's going to go be, hanging out coastal South America. Why not? Sounds like a great job. Boom, Horace Greeley does not win.
Surprise, motherfucker.
So instead, he starts campaigning for the next guy that might actually win, James A. Garfield, okay? What happens with Garfield? Garfield wins. Charles J. Guiteau is such a narcissist, he goes, well, you only won because I made that big speech about you. And by the way, that big speech, nobody heard it, nobody paid attention. Everybody kind of just thought this guy was a fucking dork. Now he's outraged because he doesn't get a presidential appointment from President Garfield. So he winds up going ahead and saying, hey, I'm going to kill you. And by the way, I'm going to go shopping for the gun. Said it out loud. He goes, I want one with ivory grip so it looks good in a museum when they hang it up one day. And the store clerk goes, okay, fine. No big deal, right? So what does he do? He waits for James A. Garfield to get on a train to go down to Long Branch, New Jersey, which was the summertime presidential retreat before Camp David. Shows up with a gun. What's he do? Pops him twice in the back and screams out, I am the stalwart of stalwarts. Weird thing happened, though. James A. Garfield doesn't die. He doesn't die for weeks. He doesn't die for months. They're actually sitting there trying to find the bullet lodged in his stomach. The infections is what actually kills him. They actually bring in Alexander Graham Bell. That's right, the famous inventor. Alexander Graham Bell is brought in, and he's sitting there with a metal detector to try to find the bullet. And guess what happens? They never find it, because every time they hear the thing going off, they start digging for it. There's nothing there. They forgot the president was laying on a metal bed. Charles J. Guiteau wrote a poem and took out a sex ad in the paper as he danced his way to the gallows and was hung. Charles J. Guiteau, your gun didn't wind up in a museum, but part of his brain did. It's in Philadelphia. You can go see it to this day. And that was Charles J. Guiteau, 3-minute loser.
Holy shit, within 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Hey, folks, if you liked more of that, do me a favor. Check out the show American Loser. We're having a good goddamn time over there. Check it out. The link is in over there. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Listen to us where you can find podcasts. Enjoy 3-Minute Loser. I'm Kp Burke.